So here's a question. Do you think that all energy medicine courses are created equal? There's so many out there. Some of them very deep, very powerful. Some of them just a weekend here or there. The ACMOS method stands out in its depth, in its scope, and its results. It's rooted in the sciences of instrumentation technology, engineering, physics, but also anatomy, physiology, Chinese medicine, medical ethics. I have a health professional background of 40 years. I bring that with me into my work. So here's another question to pose. I've written it as a statement. Information cannot change physical health. We all know that. Energy medicine, that's woo-woo nonsense that those charlatans do, and they take money from the poor public and make all sorts of statements about what they can achieve. Is that true? I find the public well able to choose for themselves, and my client list comes from word of mouth. And I practice information modulation of health, or information medicine. Information cannot change physical health, or can it? Let's see. This gentleman's leg was hot, red, itchy, and swollen. I didn't think to take photographs before the first balance, and before the first balance, his leg was almost the colour of the plinth, the bed underneath his leg. So the first thing I did was tell him to go to his doctor and to be referred to a specialist in the vascular or circulatory part of the hospital. And he did subsequently have a leaky valve in his groin repaired. But before he ever got as far as the hospital, he had some amazing results. After the second session and 3 weeks with some information being addressed to his physical body, this was his leg. The redness had gone, the itch had gone, the pain had gone, the swelling had gone. You can still see where he'd been scratching for a long time before he ever passed through my door. And you can still see, if you look carefully in the middle of the shin, that there's a varicose vein there. So there's still back pressure from that leaky valve. But the symptoms had settled down, and he said to me, I wouldn't have bothered the doctor with this, but my recommendation was you still need to go. And he did, and he had surgery to repair the valve, and his leg is still fine now. That was years ago, early days for me. So how did we do it? How did we do that? Simply followed the instructions of his energy body. And what do I mean by that? Well, I showed you our protocol earlier. When you have a protocol to follow and the tools to follow it, and you understand where you're going, then you'd be amazed at what's possible. So let's have a little experiment, shall we? Let's see if there is a universal acmogram or energy symbol. So I'm going to use my Lecker antenna, and I'm going to scan across the numbers. These numbers are from the I Ching, and we're going to form the equivalent of a barcode. But what do I mean by a barcode? Lines of information that carry, if you scan something in the supermarket, you expect to see the price, the weight, the manufacturer, whether it's on special offer, possibly what your competitor is charging. And that information is held in a series of black and white lines, some thick, some thin. So we use strong or broken lines, yang or yin lines from the I Ching of Chinese medicine. It's been around for thousands of years. So we're going to go Qian, Qian, Kan. So there's the response there on the third column, and then 5, 3, number 29. So we've got number 29, which is a mixture of thick or broken and unbroken lines. And I'm going to ask, because we use colors to personalize these even more, is it a 2-color symbol or a 3-color symbol? We have a code so that our software can produce the right symbol. We all carry our own unique energetic blueprint of information, but when we can access it, we can reset the patterns. And the body then does the rest. That gentleman's leg repaired itself. All I did was recalibrate his energetic blueprint according to what he asked for. It's really important. And this is what the students were feeding back this week, the importance for them of remembering, because we have a class now with quite a number of medical backgrounds, nursing and osteopathy and medicine itself. And their tendency is to want to think diagnostically and symptomatically. And we have to keep pulling them back in and saying, no, we're going to take a step back from there and we're going to look for the underlying root cause. When we identify the underlying root cause, the person will select the best remedy for that from our test kit. And what do I mean by a test kit? Well, here is this great big box full of many remedies, layers and layers of them. So we give the body the solution and we give it the option to choose for itself. My job is to translate and facilitate, not to lead. So what my students really have begun to understand, and those who've finished the program and who are now working out there as ACMOS practitioners, is that this is a game changer for their clients. This is different to any of the other routes they've followed before, because energy can be calibrated and health can be optimized. But the ideal way to do that is not with a one-size treatment fits all. It's with a personalized, tailored program that the person's body leads you to through the protocols.